Genevia, good morning, teacher. Good morning, everyone that are seeing that presentation. Thank you for being here today. I'm excited to share with you the story of Genevia, a fictional Caribbean country that carries a rich and powerful history. Genevia is more than just a tropical paradise. Its culture, language, food, and music are all deeply influenced by a past shaped by slavery, rebellion, and resilience. So let's take a journey through Genevia's history and discover what makes this nation so unique. Uh, Timeline. Okay, this is a completely nation's journey. Let's begin looking at Genevia's timeline. First of all, in 1746, Geneva was discovered. At the time, it was inhabited by indigenous people, and soon after that, it attracted colonizers uh, due to its fertile land. By 1754, European colonizers arrived, bringing enslaved Africans to work on plantations. The economy became heavily dependent on sugar production and the labor of slave people. Uh, but the people of Geneva fought the majority of black slaves. In 1798, the first major slave rebellion broke out, led by enslaved men and women who risked their lives to demand freedom and civil rights and independence. A second, even larger rebellion occurred in 1805. Although both were suppressed, they planted the seeds of a future change. Eventually, slavery was abolished in 1869, a victory that changed the nation forever. Okay, after years of rebuilding and asserting their identity, Geneva gained not a full independence in 1949, but like a status of autonomy of have their own government to take their own decisions, but the major decisions because it's a nation with a trade of association with the British Empire. The major decisions are taken there in the British Parliament. This timeline tells a history of colonization, resistance, and finally liberation uh, that continue shaping today the Genevia's identity. Okay, slavery in the society of Genevia. The slavery have a big impact. The slavery left a permanent mark of Geneva. Like many Caribbean islands and countries, Geneva was part of the transatlantic slave trade. More than 12 million Africans were brought to the Americas. Many work on plantations, sugar plantations. In Geneva, enslaved people worked long in sugar fields under brutal conditions uh, that we all know. But from this suffering came strength. Over time, enslaved Africans blend their traditions with those of the European and indigenous populations. This mixture gave rise to the Creole culture, a vibrant fusion of language, food, music, religion, and family traditions that defines Genevian identity today. The Creole culture is not only a reminder of survival, but also of creativity, resistance, and a lot of pride. The, the culture in Genevia. Okay, we are going to see some parts of their culture. Uh, First of all, language, the voice of the people today. Geneva is a bilingual country. The two main language spoken are English and Creole, a mix of English, African, and indigenous language. English reflects the nation colonial past. Creole, however, is a symbol of cultural resilience that I mentioned. It blends elements of African language with English and other European and indigenous languages. Uh, Creole is not just spoken in casual conversation. It's used in music, in storytelling, traditions, carnivals, even in schools. Uh, uh, I think it preserves the identity of the Genevian people to these days. Okay, we have music. We have the calabash and dance hall. Calabash is a typical instrument of Genevia, the rim of the nations. Uh, uh, Music is at the heart of Genevia. It's an important fact. Two of the most popular genres are calabash and dancehall. These styles are deeply rooted in African rhythm and percussion, mixed with Caribbean influences and modern flair. The songs often tell stories of love, resistance, everyday life, and hope, uh, really mixed with the history of the island. Whether in a street celebration or a quiet family gathering, music is everywhere in Geneva. It brings people together and reminds them of where they come from. Okay, we have another part of the culture, the sport. So the main uh, sport that they play is football, or that we call soccer. I think it's a shared passion with the British past. Now, the Genevians are passionate about it. It's football, it's not soccer for them. The BIG, or British Islands of Genevia, are known as the soccer capital of the Caribbean. It's the major league of the Caribbean. Kids grow up playing football in the streets, and matches bring entire communities together. It's more than just a sport. It's part of the national identity and a major source of pride for for their people. Okay, the food, the national dish. We have the taste of Genevia here in these pictures. Uh, No, even a culture is complete without his food, and Genevia's national dish is called bambara. It's a hearty, flavorful dish made of beef, rice, can see vegetables and peanuts, the perfect mix of African and Caribbean influences in tastes. Bambari is more just a meal. It's often served during family gatherings, national holidays, and festivals. It tells a story of tradition, survival, and the blending of cultures that make Genevia what it is today. Okay, we have here religion. In Geneva, the mix of the religion are very interesting because we have a mix of different religions that uh, confirm the blend of the different traditions. So we have the African traditions, the American traditions, and the European traditions of British traditions. We have here the candomblé. This is a religion that believes in the spirits. Followers that worship the orishas or spirits that I mentioned, uh, related to the ancestors or past familiars that lived with us. Okay, we have here the stereotypes and cultural practices. We have two principal stereotypes. The first of the stereotypes are the region is known for carnival and music, so some think Caribbean people only love party and dance and all the time. But in Geneva, in part it's true, but in the other hand, we have that Geneva and their British influence uh, make that the island of the culture have the people convert in a hard working people more than other island or culture in the Caribbean. And the other stereotype is that the uh, lack of education of their people, but the universities and the education in Geneva is of a high level. So the Genevians have a lot of good education. Okay, finally, we have the architecture that all we know the influence of different cultures, the European and African culture, made the architecture of Geneva more interesting, colorful, with a colonial shaped form their buildings, a great influence of the Spanish, the Dutch, the French, and English style of buildings. Okay, that's all. That's the culture of Geneva, a mix of Caribbean, British, European, indigenous traditions in one paradise island. I hope that you liked my presentation. Thank you very much.